Good afternoon, my dear brothers and sisters, dear friends of the True Apostolic Church. Receive greetings of love from our dear Bishop Joseph Mwala Amkusana. May I take this opportunity to address you, our members, on various issues that are happening within our church. My dear brothers and sisters, the past few days have been characterized by a lot of talking, a lot of allegations, a lot of claims, and all that. And so we take this rare privilege that we can also address you, our members, on these issues. I want to take you to the very beginning of when we resolved to register this church, the True Apostolic Church, in a meeting that was held in Manjazi Hotel in 10 Miles. After resolving to register a church or to form our own church, brothers and sisters were selected and appointed by the members gathered in that meeting to be office bearers, 10 of them. At a time when registration was to be done, some brothers were asked and sent to represent the others to register our church with Registrar of Societies. Among the people that were tasked to take out or to carry out this exercise were then Priest Tonge Sitali and Priest Friday Musonda. Monies were contributed from all over the country that was given to them to register the church and also to facilitate their movements to and from registrar. At the time of registration, Elder Kalima was the chairperson of the entry committee that was there. Therefore, at registrar, there was need for a chairperson to sign. It is at that point that then Priest Tongesitali, acting together with Priest Friday Musonda, imposed themselves as chairperson and vice chairperson. I want to put it on record that the two were not elected into that or those offices that today they claim they are the chairpersons and vice chairperson of the True Apostolic Church. However, that went like that. With time, we had the position of overseer that Tongesitali, now elder, is the overseer of the church. The title which is not anywhere in the current constitution of the True Apostolic Church. My dear brothers and sisters, after all these talks, a step was taken to visit Registrar of Societies to find out on the functions of the office bearers. I want to put it to you categorically that registrar does not confer any special duties or roles nor responsibilities on the office bearers. The office bearers are simply the people that are sent on behalf of the members to sit at the Registrar of Societies. But the functions of these office bearers are defined by the church or the organization itself. It is not the registrar that gives titles nor functions, but the church. Therefore, at no point did the church sit to confer these duties or responsibilities that are now being claimed by the people in question, that they are the owners of the church. An organization or a society is owned by everyone, but a few must represent that organization at registrar. Therefore, by virtue of registering a church on behalf of the others, does not entail ownership of the institution, organization, society, or the church. Therefore, no one should claim that this is their church by virtue of registration. And office bearers do not automatically result into a board of the church as it is being claimed. It does not automatically work like that. So all these queries were actually cleared by some officers at Registrar of Societies, and that it does not operate like that. Therefore, we had some suspicions or things that were not clear regarding the list of office bearers at registrar and also the constitution. And so, with all these talkings that we are going on, which we may not talk about in this address, but I'm very positive and sure that you, my dear brothers and sisters, have picked a lot of talk concerning the church, concerning the leadership of the church by some sector of this church, attacking the integrity of the leadership and the church itself. It was at that point that an extraordinary meeting was called by our dear bishop here in Lusaka, a meeting which saw 28 district leaders convening at the Lusaka School of Health Sciences in Woodlands. That is, district evangelists and district elders were gathered on a Friday, the 18th of August, to discuss the way forward of the church and also to put to rest the matters that were circulating, on social media and various platforms. In this meeting, my dear brothers and sisters, there were a number of issues that were discussed. Among them was the resolutions of the international conference that was held on the 16th of July, 15th to 16th of July in Kinshasa. A meeting that the chief apostle called all the representatives of various, countries in which true apostolic church or authentic new apostolic church operates. And here in Zambia, Bishop Joseph Mwala and then Tonge Sitali were invited to attend this meeting. But prior to this meeting, and because of what was happening, at his discretion, the chief apostle changed and turned down the invitation of District Elder Tonge to that meeting that the chief apostle did himself. And then Elder Tonge was not to travel to DRC, as opposed to the insinuations that the bishop is the one who dropped the invitation of Elder Tonge Sitali. Therefore, in that meeting, among the issues were the unification of the church globally or internationally. As you may be aware, that in some countries, it is true apostolic church, and in other countries, it is authentic new apostolic church. And all these churches or these countries actually acknowledged the chief apostle in the name of Christophe Cantu Kabongo. Therefore, there was need to unify the global church, and a roadmap on that was given. And here in Zambia, there is a court injunction that is in the process, and therefore it was difficult to talk about the alignment of the true apostolic church with authentic until such a time when matters are handled at the court and members will be informed. Meetings will be called to discuss this issue. Therefore, there is no one who is selling the church anywhere else. From time the church was to be launched, we acknowledged the chief apostle, then Apostle Christophe Kantuka Bongo, and invitations were made that he comes to officiate or officially launch the true apostolic church here in Zambia. That is to say, we acknowledged him as our apostle. And in all these, we have looked up to him until the time he became chief apostle, to a point where we awaited his visit here in Zambia. But due to circumstances beyond his control, he could not come to Zambia because of work. He was not cleared. He also works, he's a civil servant. But however, he sent a representative in the name of Apostle Odon Panga Mulamba, who came here in Zambia, conducted a divine service in Lusaka and also in Lukuru. In these two divine services, ministers were ordained. That is to acknowledge and to authenticate that we are one church. And by the way, the bishop ministry was gotten from the same apostle, now chief apostle, and other district leaders that were ordained. Therefore, to say there is no official or legal agreement between authentic and true apostolic here in Zambia, it is very unfortunate that it is coming from the people that actually were in the forefront of all this idea and issue. My dear brothers and sisters, given this background, in the meeting now at Lusaka Health School of Sciences, the following were the resolutions. My dear brothers and sisters, 1. The House resolved that the church council that was instituted by District Elder Tonge Stali was now and void, as the procedure, followed to constitute it was fraudulent and had no blessing of the church general leadership. You may be aware that in early July, District Elder Tonge convened a meeting at Washuka to constitute a church council, claiming that it was registrar that needed that council. When we asked registrar of societies, they said they do not know even what a church council is. For them, that does not matter as long as they have the office bearers. And they had never communicated with Elder Tonge to demand for a church council. But this church council was instituted by District Elder Tonge, and including the members that were not voted for in that meeting. Therefore, the meeting for the district leaders resolved that that council was now and void. The meeting also resolved that the church constitution be amended with immediate effect, an exercise which had started before the coming of the apostle, and therefore the legal team was tasked to start working on this constitution, that is on Monday, 21st of August 2023, and given a period of 1 month in which it was to be to complete this constitution, the amendment to the constitution, and present it to the district leaders for further deliberations and discussions. Thirdly, it was also resolved in the same meeting of the district leaders that the church still needs a church council to help with the administrative issues of the church, but this will be constituted after the amendment of the constitution. It was also resolved that the legal team should provide the terms of reference of the church council. It was also resolved that there be an inclusion in the constitution to include provincial church councils, to which the chairpersons and the secretaries must be members of the National Church Council. Another resolution that was passed is that church office bearers list submitted to the Registrar of Societies be reviewed to the delegates before the close of the meeting, so that a review of the membership is made. This followed the assertion that the constitution that was sitting at the Registrar of Societies office had been altered or changed. And so the legal team was tasked to go to Registrar of Societies to retrieve the constitution and the list of office bearers to verify the assertions that the constitution was altered without the consent of the church membership. And this task was to be done by Monday, 21st of August, 2023, a task which has so far been done. My dear brothers and sisters, it was also resolved that the legal team be expanded to contain 7 members, disintegrated as 5 males and 2 females. It was also resolved that the legal team should review and provide the terms and conditions of the office of the church, chairperson and overseer, in accordance with the provisions of the Act of Registrar of Society, which has already been done, and the registrar has confirmed that there are no special duties or roles that are conferred on the chairperson or the overseer. Therefore, this was a usurping power that was undue to the person claiming to be the chairperson of the church. My dear brothers and sisters, in the same meeting of district evangelists and district elders, it was resolved to adopt the Council of District Leaders as an authority of the church, and the church organogram to be amended to include this council. All ministers in the church to desist from abusing the various church forums. That was another resolution. My dear brothers and sisters, on the second day of the meeting on Saturday, 19th August 2023, the meeting was availed a list of office bearers as demanded in day 1 of the meeting. Then Elder Tonge gave a verbatim or read out the names of the office bearers. The names that were given are as follows: District Elder Tonge Stali as chairperson, Priest Friday Msonda, who had resigned from the church, as vice chairperson, District Elder Kalima, member, District Elder Ipanga Emmanuel, member, Sinjambi Muvita, member, Bishop Amukusana Joseph Mwala, member, Sister Judy Ngona, member, Sister Pamela Inambao, member, Shepherd Chilunda as a member, and also Shepherd Kennedy Luao as a member. My dear brothers and sisters, after a list was scrutinized, the delegates resolved to replace the following members: District Elder Tonge Stali, because he showed personal attachment to defend members in the committee that were perceived not to be in the right standing with the church. Friday Musonda was to be replaced because he had left the church as of March 11th or March 12th, 2023, in which he wrote in the WhatsApp that he had left the church. Sinjambi Mubita, who happens not even to be on the list of office bearers, and that is the discrepancy that has been found, that District Evangelist Sinjambi is not sitting there. Shepherd Chilunda was also to be replaced due to disobedience to the church leaders, and Kennedy Luao to also be replaced because of inactivity. These were to be replaced by the members that were to be nominated by provinces that have no representation in the committee, and names to be submitted to the committee. It was also resolved that the bishop be an ex-official member in the committee. My dear brothers and sisters, these were the resolutions that were passed in that meeting. The meeting, which ended with a reconciliation or reconciliatory session, in which you are aware that the bishop apologized to the elders and specifically to District Elder Tonge Sitali. You saw what happened. Unfortunately, on a Monday, 21st of August 2023, when the members tasked to go and do an information search on the Constitution and the list of office bearers, it came to our attention that District Elder Tonge submitted a letter to registrar to deregister the church, and the letter is dated 19th August 2023, the time we were in the meeting which he himself attended. And that letter is at Registrar of Societies to deregister the church. My dear brothers and sisters, when an information search was done, the list of office bearers, we discovered that one name which we knew was sitting there was not there, in the name of District Evangelist Sinjambi. He was not among the office bearers, and instead there was Shepherd Mkwachi Singogo. Because of all these things, the resolutions have been maintained, and as such, District Elder Tonge Sitali is no longer the chairperson of the True Apostolic Church, and Friday Musonda is no longer a vice chairperson of the church. Chilunda Boniface Shepherd is not a member of the office bearers, and Kennedy Luao. Take this as an official notification. As I conclude, my dear brothers and sisters, I'm aware, and I'm sure you are in view of a letter that has been circulated today from District Elder Tonge Sitali, or a few individuals that sat in the name of office bearers, that they have suspended the bishop on the reasons that I'm sure you have read. My dear brothers and sisters, we ask you to treat that letter or that memo as a fake, as null and void, because only 4 office bearers sat. That is Elder Tonge, Friday Musonda, Boniface Chilunda, and Kennedy Luao. These are the 4 people who sat. Do not be cheated that the 10 office bearers sat. They were only 4. And 4 do not represent the church. And their resolutions do not represent the aspirations and will of the people. Therefore, that memo should be treated with contempt it deserves. And I want to encourage the general members not to be wary, as the right procedures and channels of handling this matter are being followed, and at the right time, the bishop will address the members and the way forward will be given. Let us remain prayerful, pray for the church against a few individuals that are attacking the church, at the same time claiming they love the church. You cannot love a church and at the same time want to deregister it. You cannot love a church and at the same time you block or close the church account. Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, we thought we could address you on these issues, plus many other issues that are happening, which we cannot discuss here. But should you need any information, any queries, you are free to contact the office of the Public Relations Officer, and you shall be attended to. May I also bring to your attention that the church has secured office space. In due course, the details of the office shall be given. I wish you a good day, and that may the Lord richly bless you, and that we should not grow weary, we should not fear. We continue praying. Everything shall be well, and the leadership is handling this matter. I am Community Evangelist Stephen Mokuni, Head of Public Relations, Media and Broadcasting. Good day.